Welcome to my doll room. This time I've chosen to focus on a little old tin head doll from America. And it's quite interesting because when I first brought her into this room, I really need a light bulb in this room because it stopped working a while ago and I haven't replaced it. The first word that it said was lights, and I was trying to focus on how could I get some lighting happening in here. Basically, I've had a few things stored at my mum's house because of the bushfires last year. I got a lot of my precious items out just in case. And I've recently got them back, and a few of the items, just to give you an idea of the kinds of things that I do collect. I collect Victorian, lots of Victoriana, morning jewelry. This is a replica of a ring from the Titanic. So that was when the exhibition came out to Australia many years ago. And this little piece, which has hair in it, in memory of. So I've got lots of very unique pieces of jewelry as well. And this is an old Victorian nightgown, which was actually featured in the movie The Water Diviner with Russell Crowe. So I chose my most precious things and I basically put them in a box and took them over to my mum's house. So I might actually do a separate video on this nightgown because this actually came from Borough and it's Victorian. So it's probably mid to late 1800s, this nightgown. And it's very special that it was actually worn by one of the actresses in The Water Diviner. So that makes it really quite special. But getting back to the doll that I've chosen, she is extremely old. So it's just said head, as I was focusing in on the head. And we'll just see what comes through, what happens. Many of the dolls in my collection do have spirit attachments. A lot don't as well. I collect all sorts of dolls, so a lot don't, but a lot do at the same time. So it's just starting to peek out a little bit again. Once again, I'm using my favourite app, Ghost Hunting Tools. Just saw an interesting light then. And if anyone has any questions about any of my dolls or that you're curious of, or if you're picking up anything on any of the dolls, or if you'd maybe like to see more of other dolls, then definitely comment, let me know, because I have so many unique dolls. Well, this one up here on the right, I made her. And this is just a tiny, tiny little bit of my collection. But as I said, I'd like to focus on this doll. Is there anything that you would like to say to us? There may be people watching who might be curious about you and they would like to get to know you just that little bit better. Could you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Where you came from? Perhaps you're curious of what year that we are in, what the date is. Are you aware that we're in 2020? So the device that I'm holding is actually filming you, and this will basically preserve this moment forever on film. And that is what this technology does, in case you're unaware of this kind of technology. And this device in front of you, in front of me, this is a communication tool in which is used like a dictionary. It has many words stored inside of it, and you can communicate through this by choosing words through this device in order to get your message across. So at the moment, I'm talking to the spirit attached to the tin head doll that I am touching now, this doll here. If anyone else wishes to communicate, you can do so, but maybe you can do so by using the word hello and telling us what your name is. Otherwise, I'm mostly focused on this doll here. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? A map. Do you know that you're now living in Australia? Are you aware of that? And bear in mind, these dolls were commonly seen in memento mori photographs, in mourning photographs of the time. Not like these days where we have immunisations for children. Back in those days, mortality rates were rather high, so many children unfortunately did pass away. And what did they cherish the most, especially being a young girl, was their doll. Car. And her eyes are really quite intriguing. I'll just get a close-up of her eyes. It's finding it hard to focus. What else would you like to say to us? Do you have any messages? Is there anything that you would like? Welcome back. Welcome back to the doll room. Or should I say the doll house? My house is full of dolls. Is there anything that you would like to say? You can communicate through this device. Perhaps I'll move the device a little bit. Put it a little closer. Okay, is that better? What would you like to tell us? To tell me? Or anyone else who might be curious about you? Sometimes I find there's a little bit of a delay as well after you ask a question with most of paranormal equipment, actually. And it sort of makes me wonder or question, in the paranormal world, in the spirit world, perhaps there is like a delay, like on a guitar effects pedal or something, like a delay in time. Perhaps they hear what we're saying a little later than Trevor, a little later than what we're saying it, maybe like a time lapse or something. Like with the last video that I did, the doll, the first question I said at the beginning was, "What is your name?" And then right at the end, when I was about to finish, a name came through as Monica. So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to prove or disprove, I suppose, through science so far, with the knowledge that they have. So is there anything you would like to tell us? I feel you came from a farm, an old farmhouse. Is that correct? An old farm homestead? Symbols. Focus all your energy into the device. It's like reading a book and choosing the words through the dictionary. It's nice to have you back again. Bit of a weight on you. Could you perhaps show yourself to us? Tell us what your name is. Harry. Okay, that's a bit close to home. That's my dad's name, and he passed away last year. And my items were stored in his bedroom. Ask him. Hello? creek. Well, I actually went to a creek today. Can you say a name that is very significant to me? I understand it can take a little bit of time. It's okay, I'm patient. Can you perhaps give me a name that's significant to me? Patrick. Okay. That's interesting. Thank you. That is very interesting. Do you mind being filmed? Two spirits? Two people? Do either of you mind being filmed? Well, yeah, the doll is extremely old. If that's what you're talking about. Brayden. Jumped. Brayden jumped. Riley. Did you perhaps have two brothers, Brayden and Riley? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Feel free to come out and play tonight. Give me a sign sometime in the night so I know it's you. Maybe you can throw something or down. So generally in this room, when the door's shut, not much happens. But when I leave it open, that's when a lot of stuff happens in my house. Generally, I mean, things happen a lot in my house as it is. But when it's open, the spirits attached to many of my objects do generally, I think, come out to play. A lot of them. A lot of stuff happens, and it's not just me that's experienced it. Like shadow figures are seen a lot. I've actually seen a child walk out of my bedroom one night. Lights, flashes of lights, knocks, cupboards opening, all sorts of stuff. They know the rules. All right, is there anything else you want to say? Because I'm going to finish up in a minute. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about where you're from, or give us some valid information about yourself, where you came from. What was your favourite thing to do? Or should I say, what is your favourite thing to do? Play in the yard. And I'm guessing in a farm. In a farmyard? Is that where you came from? You like to play in the yard. Anything else? Because I'll have to say goodnight in a minute. But you can feel free to come and play anywhere in the house. Cool. Okay, we've got lots of names coming through, so it's hard to say if these names are related to the doll or Don. I do have to catch up with Don. My friend Don and I have a band together, and I've been meaning to contact him for about a week now, so I guess that's something that's another name that's pretty relevant to me. Any messages you want to give to people? Well, if anyone wants to know anything more about this doll or picks up anything with this doll, definitely comment or contact me and tell me what you think. Otherwise, you might be seeing more of her in the future. Feed me. Well, it is dinner time and I do need to get back into the kitchen, so until next time, we'll say goodnight and I'll let you know if anything happens. Good night. Do you want to say goodnight? All right. I'll see you soon.